Hello guys, welcome to your next to lesson 25, and with this one we'll be learning about simple interest. Now it is very important to know about simple interest because you guys will grow up and you guys will have to make investments and you guys will be taking out a loan, let's say to buy a car, and you need to understand how simple interest work. So our vocabulary for today, we have interest, simple interest, and principal. Now, the interest is the amount that is charged for borrowing or using money, or an amount of money that is earned by saving money. And then we have two type of interest. We have what is called compound interest and simple interest. Simple interest is what we will focus on today. Compound interest, you guys will learn more about that in 8th grade. So simple interest is money paid only on the principal. It's money that you pay or gain on the principal. And then you have the principal is the amount of money that you deposit if you're making an investment, or you borrow if you are taking out a loan. So to solve problems involving simple interest, you can use the following formula. So it is I equal PRT. To get the interest, you need to multiply the principal times the rate and times the time. I is for interest, P is for principal. The interest rate is how much, for example, if it's a 3% interest. Now, when you plug in that 3% in the formula, you need to put it in as a decimal. And then you have time. Now, time needs to be converted to years in this for this formula to work. Let's say if you borrow, you're making an investment for 9 months, then you need to convert that 9 months to years, which will be 3/4 years or 0.75. So time, very important, needs to be in years. The rate needs to be as a decimal. Alright, now here let's go ahead and do some example. We have find the missing value, where here you need to find out the interest, and the principal was 575 and the rate is 8% for 3 years. So here first thing you need to do is to write down your formula. Now that 8%, you need to change it to a decimal, so that'll be 0.08. So here's the principal, the rate, and then the time is 3 years. And then all you do is go ahead and just multiply them. And here we are paying an interest of $138. Okay. Let's go ahead and do another example. So here we are solving for the rate. We know the interest this time. We know the principal. We know it's going to take us 6 years to pay it, but we do not know what is the percent rate. So here we want to go ahead and again we start with the formula, and then we substitute in the values that we know. We know the interest is 204. We know the principal is 1700. We do not know the rate, but we do know the time, that is 6 years. Alright? So the next thing to do is to go ahead and multiply 1700 times 6. And that's what we get. 1700 times 6 is 10,200. Then we go ahead and multiply that by the rate. Now again, this turns into an equation. To solve for R, we divide by 10,000 on both sides. Okay, and the interest rate will be 0.02, but we need to express the interest as a percent, so we want to multiply this 0.02 by 100 and we will get 2%. Do not forget to multiply your rate after you solve it by 100 to get 2%. Alright, now it's your turn. Go ahead and do this. Okay, alright, welcome back. So let's go ahead and solve this together. First thing we want to do is start off with the formula and then substitute in the values that we know. Remember, the rate has to be plugged in as a decimal. With all we to change it to decimal, all we do is divide it by 100. Alright, go ahead and do this one where you are going to solve for the rate. Doody 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 doo. Doody doody doo. Okay guys, welcome back. So again here we want to start with what we know. Principal interest 600, principal 2000, and years 3. So we want to combine 2003, so we just multiply them to get 6,000, and then we divide R on both sides. 6,000 on both sides to solve for R. Now please remember again to multiply that 0.1 by 100 and we will get 10%. Okay, let's go ahead and do a problem. So here we have Avery deposit $6,000 in an account that earns 4% simple interest. How long will it take for his account balance to reach $6,800? So here we are actually solving for the time because we do not know how long it's going to take. Alright, so here first thing we can rewrite the question. Basically they're asking us to find the number of years it will take for Avery's account to reach 6,800. Now, list the important information. So here we know the principal is $6,000 and the interest rate is 4%. And his account balance will be 6,800. Now, if I look at the formula, it's interest equal P, the principal times the time times the rate. Now, I know the interest rate is going to be 4%. I know the principal is 6,000. I do not know the time, and I also do not know the interest. But, however, for the interest, we can easily go ahead and find that because we can go ahead and subtract 6,800 minus 6,000. So that tells me that he's going to earn an interest of 800. Okay, so we know the interest is going to be $800, so we can go ahead and plug that into the formula. 800 will be the interest. To get the interest, we had to do $6,000, which is the principal, times the 4%, which we plug in as 0.04, times the time that we do not know. And then from there, we want to go ahead and multiply 6,000 times 0.04, which is 240, will equal times the time will equal to 800. From there, we just go ahead and solve for t by dividing both sides by 240, and the time is about 3 1/3 year, or about 3 years and 4 months. Alright, now it's your turn. Go ahead and solve this, pause, please try it, and then come back and get the answer. Alright, so here is the answer. So first thing we want to do is to find what is the actual interest. So if we started with 10,000, at the end we ended up with 12,000. That means we earned $2,000 in interest. So we want to plug in that 2,000 for the interest, 10,000 for the principal, and the rate in this case is 0.08 times the time we do not know. And then to solve for the time, we want to go, well, before we solve for the time, we want to go ahead and multiply both sides by 10,000 times 0.08 to get 800. And then we'll divide both sides by 800, which will give us 2.5 years or 2.5 years. Okay, that was it for today. Hopefully this was not too bad. Please make sure you guys did pause and review. You guys will have a quiz firsthand because I will not debrief to see if you guys are really doing the videos and not learning and not really learning them in class. So have a good one. Bye bye.